Yes.
5 reasons why New Mexico is so dangerous. The state of New Mexico is an enigma. The Enchantment State is full of delights that can really enchant anyone. It's a state that has been captivating the imagination of all and sundry in American society for decades. From its mysterious canyons and vast deserts to its vibrant culture and history full of turbulence, New Mexico is one of the most exciting places in the United States. Unfortunately, it has its downsides. There have been questions about safety in this state. How dangerous is New Mexico? Is the state really dangerous? Those questions have been answered almost unanimously. We will, in this video, highlight 5 reasons why New Mexico is so dangerous, for many reasons that are given in general. 5. Bad roads. The road conditions in New Mexico can't be described as safe. The unsafe road condition is one of the main 5 reasons why New Mexico is dangerous. Rural roads in this state are some of the worst in the whole country. They cost each driver that regularly plies the road an average of $767 per year. The amount is arrived at after costing the wasted man-hour, fuel, and vehicle maintenance. These poor road conditions also affect the food distribution network, as vendors have to move their products to market through such terrible roads. The state energy sector is also affected by the terrible roads. The state has 207 bridges and a total road mileage of 12,115.1. Only about a total of 8,293.1 miles, representing 68.5%, is in acceptable condition. More than 3,822 miles of roads in the state are less than subpar conditions. They're dangerous highways and full of blind curves. Most of these roads lack signage. Generally, the roads in New Mexico are incredibly challenging and hazardous. Research shows that over 45% of fatal accidents happening in the state happen on rural roads. No wonder drivers from other states, who know how dangerous the state is, believe that driving in New Mexico feels like taking one's life into one's own hands. The Bureau of Transportation Statistics advise that anyone driving on the roads in New Mexico should take extra care. They should ensure that they know what they're getting into. Part of the advice given is that they should always check out traffic reports before heading out, as the road conditions can change at any time. This is the only way they can stay safe while driving through the roads of this beautiful but dangerous state. 4. Dangerous wildlife. Being home to a variety of wildlife should ordinarily be a blessing to New Mexico, as that's one of the tourist attractions. However, it's adding to the reasons why New Mexico is dangerous. There's a wide variety of dangerous wildlife in the state. These can give tourists and residents an exciting surprise. They're not creatures you get to see every day. For example, a wild mountain lion or coyote can get you to grab your camera, as you don't want to miss the live action of these rare animals. The danger, however, lies in situations where tourists encounter these animals in the wrong place at the wrong time. On such occasions, they can be far from a fun scene. They become real threats to human safety. These are not the only beasts that pose serious dangers within the state boundary. New Mexico has a great population of American black bears and bison on the high plains, while rattlesnakes, coral snakes, and tarantulas are very plenty in the desert. Wicked black widow spiders, viscous brown spiders, and bark scorpions are roaming around the jungle in this state, and can be found sometimes in unexpected places. Even certain reptiles and turtles could prove dangerous if mishandled. That's why visitors are advised to take caution when touring areas in the woods. The standard practice is that if you encounter such animals, keep your safe distance, as far as it can from the beast. It's also good to seek professional help immediately. The managers of the tourist areas where those animals could be encountered have been trained on how to disarm them and get anyone threatened out safely. 3. Gang activity. This is a serious cause for concern in New Mexico. There's a growing problem of gangs in New Mexico threatening its safety and security. The Enchantment State is now becoming a hotspot for gangs and their dangerous illicit activities. Recent reports are pointing to the fact that the state has been experiencing a remarkable rise in gang activity since the past decade. The gangs in New Mexico are a bone of contention for law enforcement and a concern for the community. The criminal activities of these gangs now pose a serious threat to public peace, even though state and local law enforcement agencies are taking the fight to the gangs to combat their activities. The state is far from being peaceful. The increased patrols, gang sweeps, and collaboration with community organizations have done just a little to prevent gang recruitment. The state has approximately 680 gangs, having more than 13,800 members. Some of the most prominent gangs in New Mexico are prison gangs, which include New Mexico Syndicate and Los Canales. Street gangs, namely the 18th Street, Los Padillas, and San Jose gangs, are also strong in the state. Other gangs in New Mexico include the Barrio Azteca prison gang, West Siders operating in Sunland Park, Brewtown Locos operating in Albuquerque, Los Sureños, and Juaritos operating in central New Mexico, among others. The gangs have been a part of New Mexico's culture for decades. They're often involved in violent crimes and other illegal activities, such as drug trafficking, human trafficking, kidnapping, and prostitution rings, among others. All these activities are on the rise in the state at an alarming rate, as we shall soon see. Can you now see why New Mexicans feel unsafe and threatened in their own neighborhoods? 2. High crime rates. What do you expect to find in a state with a high number of gangs and members, such as the figures we just gave you? In addition, the state doesn't have enough resources for effective policing, as we shall soon see. The state has been ranked one of the most dangerous states in the U.S., no thanks to the alarming rate of violent crime. Behind most of these crimes are gangs. A ranking by one ranking body consistently places New Mexico among the overall most dangerous states for all crimes in America. Not long ago, the state reported a violent crime rate of 563 per 100,000 residents, which is significantly higher than the U.S. national average of 394 crimes per 100,000. The serious consequences of this high rate of criminality for residents of New Mexico are frightening. In 2019 alone, almost 10,000 crimes were reported, out of which 50 were homicides. While the emphasis is on violence that plagues residents, property crimes are also rampant in many parts of the state. Thousands of burglaries are being reported each year. Well, the authorities throughout the state are not resting on this matter. 1. Lack of police resources. There is an acute shortage of police officers in New Mexico. It's one of the under-policed states. As of the last count, the state has just 1.93 police officers to guard and protect every 1,000 residents of the state. That's one of the lowest ratios in America. The implication of this is that law enforcement services will spread thin across this large state. This makes it dangerous, especially when crime rates are higher than the national average and there are areas more rural and isolated from cities or government presence. This lack of police presence goes a long way in emboldening criminals. In many communities across the state, response times to distress calls are too long, such that police hardly apprehend criminals at the scene of the crime. In the capital city, the call for more police officers has continued unabated. The number of cops is reducing. A new state fund has earmarked hundreds of thousands and even millions of dollars for police departments across the state, so that more cops could be employed. The department has lost a lot of officers in recent times. A lack of funds for a long time has been responsible for the dwindling number of cops, as underpaid officers are leaving in droves. Those currently in the service don't have enough resources to work with. This can be frustrating to a cop who is determined to foil a crime or get to the root of another, but doesn't have access to the resources needed to see it through. So this shortage of cops and lack of training and resources to work with is one of the reasons why New Mexico is dangerous. These are just 5 of those reasons. Do you know other reasons why New Mexico is so dangerous? Please be assured that your comments are very important. Please share them. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell.